I'm disappointed with Hulu. I will discontinue my service because they have uh, disappointed their customers with their political views and shutting off my commercials on Fox News. Okay, well, the reason why I posted the information was because it's a little bit upsetting that I became a member of Hulu, or I enrolled in the services and I'm paying for it every single month. And yet when I got Fox News, which is what I listen to be just aware of what's happening in the world with all this coronavirus that we've been struck with, they're cutting off all the commercials. And I know my commercials. I've watched Fox News for quite a long time. And I know which commercials they're actually cutting off. They actually freeze the channel, the actual Fox News channel. And it's only certain commercials that they select that they're actually allowing me to see. So because I know my commercials and I know the commercials that they actually play on Fox News, it's a lot of the conservative commercials. They have commercials that actually will encourage people and tell them that to pray. There's commercials, maybe some political ones, perhaps, both ways. I mean, I don't know. I can't remember which political, way they go. But the point is that whatever it is, they shouldn't be cutting off any commercials and they shouldn't be freezing the channel where there's nothing happening. I'm paying for a service. I think they should at least provide us with that service, every month. So why are they cutting off, especially not to mention these commercials that are conservative? It's about prayer. It's about giving people hope. We're going through an epidemic right now. Right now, what people need is hope. They need to be a little more empathetic about the fact that people out there need to hear maybe something about prayer. Maybe there's people out there that are going through such a hard time in their home where they don't have a job. They're probably going into drugs. They're probably thinking about suicide. Maybe there's even abuse going on in their home. I'm an educator. I think a lot about what children are going through right now in their homes, stuck at home, not being able to go out, not being able to get some fresh air. That there's a lot of things going on. Parents are losing their minds, trying to be educators, providing for their children. All of this is going on. Don't you think it would be in the right mind of Hulu, and which I just found out is not necessarily with Amazon, it's Disney that owns Hulu. See, when I called customer service, I was made aware because I thought, well, I pay Amazon for my bill. I thought it was Amazon, and I wanted to get the numbers of the CEO or the corporate offices or someone because I needed to file a complaint about why they were cutting off my conservative commercials. So they, the representative made me aware that no, it's Disney that owns 80% of the company. And I said, oh my goodness, that explains everything. Are we getting here now political? Because now I know that Disney, of course, liberal, very extremely liberal. Now I know why they're cutting off all the conservative commercials. The commercials that people need about prayer, about giving them hope during this pandemic that we're going through. Really? This is what people need. Are they not going to be caring and at least loving enough to, maybe we should allow these commercials. Maybe this is what the world needs right now. That maybe this is what people in America, I don't know if you see Fox News out there where you're calling from, but in America, we need that. Because right now, there's a lot of hatred, anger going on in Congress alone with many Democrats that can't let it go, okay? And you know what? They need a little more love in their hearts, okay? Well, why don't we just allow those commercials of, prayer? Let these people know that we're praying for them. Let them know that there's nice people in this world, still, because that's what those commercials actually display. They're really, they're so nice. They actually show people doing kind acts. That's what those commercials are about. I love them. And they're so nice, they're inspiring. Who is not gonna like? Well, guess what? They've cut all of them out. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? And then they freeze it. I'm like, every time I'm in the kitchen or something, then I hear silence. Because I hear the Fox News, I'm listening to the news, and all of a sudden I hear silence. I'm like, there we go again. No commercial. It's like, it's ridiculous. So it really bothers me. I actually was going to call right now because I'm going to go to YouTube. I'm canceling Hulu because this is just too, they're too liberal and they're getting political. And you know what? They have no right to tell, because this is what they're saying. The message that they're sending here is that you have no right and you're not going to be conservative in your views. And we're going to stop the world that watches Hulu, or whoever watches Hulu. I think it was 3,000. I don't know how many people that had commented on Hulu. We're not going to allow you to watch any conservative commercials. That's what they're saying. And nobody has that right to do that because this is a free country where there's free speech. Liberals do not have the right to shut down or shut up any conservative at all. Because you know what? Conservatives do not do that. I don't do that. I will not tell a liberal, listen, if they're going through a hard time, the most I will do, listen, I'll pray for you if you're going through a hard time. But I'm not going to tell them, oh, you know what? This is happening to you because you don't believe in God, or you don't pray. I'm not going to say that. I'll tell them, look, I'll pray for you because you're going through a hard time. And then if anything, I'll say, you know what? God loves you, just so that they know. And I love you too, just so that they know that they're still loved, whether they believe or they don't believe, whether they pray or they don't pray. It doesn't matter. God still loves them. That's it. That's what God is about. God is about love. We got to just give love. But we're not going to, slam them with the Bible or hit them with the Bible over their head. No, just give them love. That's it. But what are they doing to conservatives? They're shutting down, they're shutting everybody. No, well, you don't have the right to pray, and you don't have the right to watch a commercial about prayer or about nice people or about church or about any. What is that? You see that, they're just, again, to me, I'm sorry, but that's evil. That's evil. That's in the world. That's working them, and I know it's not necessarily them. It's not necessarily the human. It's evil that's getting to them. And evil is very powerful, and it's making humans do that. Unfortunately, it's sad. It's very sad. So it's upsetting. It's upsetting as a customer, that, there's so much politics going on. And that's why I'm just so disappointed with Hulu. Very disappointed that they're just gotten this political.
Yeah, I see. And what solution are you waiting from them? Like you said, you have already tried to contact them. Yeah. And what are you waiting from them?
In fact, the other day, they sent a message through my TV saying that I had to actually get a local provider. The message that came on my screen was that I had to get a local provider that will enable me to get Fox News through my local provider. But I don't have a local provider. That's why I got cable, so they can be my provider. So I tried, I said I connected, but that didn't work. So I went back to the same thing where they cut it off again. So I said, that's not going to work. I'm just going to go to YouTube, because my daughter told me, Mom, just get YouTube and that's it. Forget them. I'm in an area in South Beach. I don't know if you're familiar with South Beach. In South Beach, there's only one company, which is AT&T it's called Atlantic Broadband. And I'm a little disappointed with their customer service. They leave you on the phone for hours and hours. So I'm not very happy with that service. So it's happened to us, to my mother, at least. It happened to her quite a number of times. So I said, okay, and we can't get AT&T, which is the one that I prefer. I've always had AT&T. And then Comcast, I've been working with the actual sales rep supervisor that's trying to get connections for 2 buildings here, because I'm on the board of one of the buildings. So we're trying to see if we can get Comcast. But, in the meantime, I have no cable. I have no Fox News. So I need to get it. So that's why I'm going to get YouTube. I'm just going to switch. Yeah. And thank you for sending me that suggestion. That's why I said, I told my daughter, I did get an email that it said maybe connect to YouTube. My daughter said, yeah, just get YouTube.
Right. And why did you decide to go in public and to share your story?
Because it's upsetting, because there's just so much of this all these political issues, all of this that has to do, that has to do with the leftist movement. Is just very sickening. It's very disgusting. It's really, it has to do with a lot of other issues that are going on in Congress right now, with a lot of members in the Democratic Party in Congress that are really, they just can't let it go. They just cannot let it go, despite everything that, the leaders in our country are trying to do to help our country. They just cannot see it. They don't want to see it. And anything they do that is positive for our country, to help the people, they will cast it down and bring it down, and they will never, ever see anything positive. I mean, they're just so angry, hateful, and negative that it's sad. It's sad. And I'm telling you, something as simple as Hulu, it's sad. This is what I mean. This is the liberal, and I want to say, again, because I'm an educator, I do research for a living, it's liberal, socialist, democratic issues, and progressive. Now you have Bernie Sanders, a progressive, going into that little book of things as well. He's joining that little, they're all together on this. So it's just sad that all this has to now turn out to be so political. It's really, it's terrible. It's terrible. It's sickening. It's sickening, and the thing is that we all basically come from the same root. We all come from the same root. Why? We all bleed the same blood. Hello. Why? Why? God loves all of us. We are all his children. Why? But they just have gone beyond that, because they're so way up there, that they see everybody else as being minor and not, fitting to their positions,
And what would you advise for the future customers of Hulu?
Just to be, I guess, aware, to have awareness that, they're only going to have, they're going to have their own views. And again, I mean, they're not going to favor everyone, that if you don't see it their way, then it's the highway. I want to say it's simple as that, and again, I don't think anybody wants to see a frozen channel. It's like, I mean, and I know some people could care less about commercials. I do enjoy commercials. They're very informative, and sometimes you want to see them. Right now, what we're going through, I think those commercials are actually very, very meaningful to our lives at this moment. It's like, it's like when you watch the Super Bowl, when you watch the Super Bowl and you see all those commercials on the Super Bowl, they make you laugh. They're so funny. Who doesn't want to laugh and have a good time? Just like that. There's a certain time for everything. And right now we need those commercials that are gonna help us and lift us and give us hope and inspiration, and it's going to touch us where we need to right now. They're not thinking of people's needs. Again, they're not psychological. They're not emotional. They're not thinking of what the world and what people need right now.